This will be a review of two Snapper Lawn Mowers that I currently own, and both are 21-inch cut and both have two unique different type of blades on them. This is a Snapper Hi-Vac model here. They call the Easy Speed. I'll show you the self-propel units on both of these. And this has the 7.0 Intech overhead valve Briggs & Stratton engine on it. Primer bulb engine. And this is the only lawnmower that I ever bought new. We'll do a comparison on this one that I got last year. It's also a Snapper. It doesn't have high-tech badging on it, but this has the Briggs & Stratton Intech 7.75 overhead valve engine on it. And this is the one that still needs a rope replacement. I'll show you a little bit more about this and what I plan to do with this. They both have different type of wheels on them. They both have a throttle, which I like. This is also a primer bulb engine, just like the Easy Speed. And this one has a gear selector for the gears here, whereas on the Easy Speed you have a shifter that just kind of slides up and down. Easy Speed also has a throttle. And both have the pull down self-propelled lever, single lever. Now these can either mulch, these have mulch plugs in them. I'll show you that with the bag. You side shoot, and you also can put a mulch cover on here, but it's just as easy to leave the mulch plug in there. The Easy Speed has a aftermarket Gator Blade on it, 21-inch. It just kind of pulverizes the grass. I prefer these over the Ninja Blade, which is what's on the other Snapper here. These Ninja Blades do just great on dry grass, but if it's got any little dampness, it'll start to clump up in here. The Gator Blade doesn't do that, but they cut almost identical. I just prefer that Gator Blade. Let me show you a little bit more about each one, and then we'll give each one a start. You can see on the Easy Speed here, this side chute redirects this rope away from everything up through here, whereas on this one it doesn't really have the correct side chute, and I think that's why this rope has gotten in the condition it is. So when I replace this rope, I just so happen to have another side chute that we're going to put on here to redirect this rope away from the bag and all that. It's going to take a little more rope to go in there, which I've got a spool to replace that with, and that'll make it look like this one, which to me should be the correct way. And I believe I may have bought this chute and this bag as an aftermarket, because this is not a Hi-Vac model, but they got a Hi-Vac bag on here. At least there's no badging, and I'll show you underneath the deck the difference between the two to identify the Hi-Vac. The Hi-Vac models are identified with this lip that you can see that goes around the deck, which causes more of a vacuum of the grass, keeps it near around the blade to get a better cutting. This one doesn't have the Hi-Vac badging on it. And you can see this deck's a little bit different. It's just straight down. There's not like a lip that goes around it for that vacuum. And they both have a mulch plug. You just put this plug in and then put the bag on to lock it in place. And the same for the Easy Speed. Same kind of mulch plug, just the bag locks it in place. And this is the model and serial number of the 6.75 horsepower Snapper. This is an FRP216, which is 21 inch, 67517BV. And this is the model and serial number of the Easy Speed P217018BV. And they both have similar self-propel units here. This one has a gear selector that drives a belt from the engine to this wheel, which turns this hardened rubber and then spins into the gearbox here. This one has a gear selector. This is the Easy Speed, similar setup with that wheel here that drives on this ring, and that belt drives this gearbox. The difference is this has a slide selector versus the gear selector. And when you engage the self-propel lever, that tightens this belt here and drives this gearbox. It's all spinning from this disc here. And the Easy Speed even has a cup holder. Isn't that a great option? And this is the engine model and serial number on the Easy Speed 7.0 Intake overhead valve Briggs & Stratton engine. And this is the model and serial number of the overhead valve 6.75 Intake engine here. With the gear selector. And both of these have similar wheel height adjustments here with 6 settings. And this is the wheel height adjustments, 6 settings as well on the Easy Speed Hi-Vac model. Let's give each one of these a start. We'll start with the Easy Speed. So this Easy Speed has not been started this year. I kind of call this my special occasion lawnmower, so I try to preserve it and keep it long as I can. Got a primer bulb, so we're going to pump this a couple of times. And we'll give it a little pat. Sometimes I've seen these overhead valve engines, after they sit for a while, they will blow smoke when you first start them up. So this will be the first start of the year. And we got a throttle. Give it a little bit of gas. And here we go. Look at that, first time. No smoke. That is pretty good. Let it run a bit. Wonderful lawnmower. And here we go. Start out slow here. Retie my handle. Alright, handle retied without starting it. Warmed up. There we go. job cutting. And now let's give this one a start here. Give it a couple of primes. Give this one a little pat as well. I've been using this one. I'm just gonna have to go ahead and get this rope replaced. Give it a little throttle. And see how easy this one will be to start. Here we go. Very good. Way to warm up a bit. Very quiet engine. Selector on here. A little bit of throttle. And here we go. Really nice on dry grass. Can't really tell the difference between that and the Gator Blade. Both great lawnmowers, for sure. So two great lawnmowers. I really like the Snapper, the old Snapper brand, with the throttle and the gear shift that they have made for so many years. And they improved it with the easy speed with this slide. Hard for me to have a preference. I like both of them. Which one do you like the best?